What's going on, folks? Welcome to the latest edition of Nintendo Enthusiast Week in Review. It is I, Sean Long, and kind of a quiet week in the world of Nintendo, but some cool stuff to cover. So without any further ado, let's jump into this past week's news. So we had some new Nintendo patents this week, which goes along with what we saw last week. This week we saw things like voice chat integration via outside source, custom sound sampling, power setting samples, and that looks like it's NX stuff. Now I know you might be saying, well, last week I said that the optical drive was not for the NX, and I still stick by that, because that's a hardware thing. This is more smaller things, you know what I'm saying? Something that could be added at any point in time, and it would make sense for these inclusions to be on the NX as opposed to, you know, future hardware or whatnot. So do I think these new patents are for the NX? Yes, I do, but I still believe that the system without the optical drive is not the NX. So Fatal Frame has been confirmed to be a North American release, but it's only going to be an eShop game, and a lot of people are upset about it. I wrote an article on it saying I'm kind of upset, but I do understand. Horror games don't really sell all that well in 2015, and, you know, it's kind of a cost-cutting measure. Does it suck? Yes, especially because Europe is getting this beautiful deluxe set that I would love to have, but, you know, I kind of understand it. I do like the free-to-start mechanism they're doing with the game, and who knows, maybe it'll end up getting a physical release down the line, like some sort of, you know, other eShop Nintendo titles I've gotten, such as the Luigi Brothers extension on New Super Mario Brothers, but it's tough to say. I understand why you guys are upset. Let me know what you think of the whole situation in the comments below.
This week's Retro Game of the Week is brought to you by NewWaveTraders.com. For all your retro gaming and toy needs, be sure to visit NewWaveTraders.com.
This week's Retro Game of the Week is my favorite first-person shooter on the Wii, The Conduit. Yes, the sequel was a little bit better, and the online was better in the sequel, but I felt the original was an overall better game, just because I really liked the story. I liked the whole sort of Illuminati sort of thing that this game had going for it, and it was really fun. Fully customizable controls, and just a good time overall. I really wish High Voltage Studio was still doing fun, creative projects like this, and who knows, maybe one day they'll have a return to form. But if you don't own the Conduit on the Wii, you really should. I was going to cover this issue last week, but I actually lost the footage for it, but it's probably a good thing I did because this week it was finally confirmed. Shovel Knight is getting an amiibo. And that's a pretty big deal, honestly, because this is an indie company getting an amiibo of their character. And while I'm not the biggest amiibo collector, I probably will pick up the Shovel Knight amiibo, because this says a lot about Nintendo, that they're really working closely with these indie companies to kind of cater them to be the new third-party companies. I love this decision. I love the Shovel Knight amiibo. I love Shovel Knight, so it's definitely a super cool thing that I think a lot of people will enjoy. And finally, we've seen some new stuff from Project Treasure, which is now known as Lost Reavers. It looks really fun. It's a 4-player cooperative sort of dungeon crawler game with zombies, pretty violent, nice graphics, and it's going to be a free-to-play game from Bandai Namco for the Wii U, or probably free to start, honestly. I'm not really interested in the free-to-start mechanism on it. Once again, like Fatal Frame, it's a good way to introduce players to the game, but I hope that when the game comes out, there's an option to just purchase the whole thing outright, because that's what I'll be doing. But it looks really cool. I'm really looking forward to this game. It looks really fun, and I hope the online has some voice chat. I mean, it is made by Bandai Namco, so, you know, there is a good chance that it will, but a game like this really needs voice chat. So, Nintendo, if you're listening and watching, please put voice chat in this game. We would appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this week's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, leave me a comment below, and let's talk about what all we've covered on the show this week. I'll see you guys next week. Later.